Ew.
You can get out of my wedding now.
I'm not leaving. You go yourself and tell me how it is.
Well, that's fucking rude as Let's get some light in here. Not that light. Should we do blue?
Make it blue.
Hey everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. My name is Sam, otherwise known as Snerix. And this week I really wanted to take a second to talk about what's been going on with fans, quote unquote, throwing things on stage when singers are performing. It seems like this has kind of been a new, I don't want to use the word trend because I don't want to really give it that much credit. I'm hoping that that's not what it is. But it's gotten to the point where I feel like I'm seeing some sort of report every single week of a new celebrity who's had something chucked at them while performing on stage. The first big one I really think that caught everyone's attention was Blvd because someone threw a cell phone at her face that ended up causing her to need stitches. I saw there was something with Pink.
This person threw their mother's ashes on stage at a Pink concert. Why? Why? I don't care how much that person loved Pink. You keep those ashes to yourself.
There was something with Lil Nas X. There was something with, what's her name? Ava Max. It was just like a bunch of things in a row that I feel like was like, okay, whoa, what is happening here? And that's the thing too, is I'm not sure if this is a new thing that's happening or if the news has just kind of been reporting on it more frequently now that people have put their interest in it more.
I've been getting hit on stage with things for like literally 6 years. I don't know why this is like new. You know, people just get excited. It's absolutely infuriating when you're up there.
They're not throwing like tomatoes and orange. They're not.
No, they're not. It's like
they're throwing phones to get.
I have like mixed feelings about it because when you're up there, it blows. You know, you're in like a vulnerable position.
Within the past few days, there was another incident with Cardi B. If you haven't already seen this video, in this case, it looks like it was a drink or ice or something like that. Definitely shocking to see somebody throw a whole ass microphone. I believe it said that it hit the person that threw the object and somebody else. And I saw that there was a lawsuit.
Update, the charges were actually dropped due to insufficient evidence.
I don't think Cardi was wrong for reacting the way that she did. I know there was footage from an Adele concert where she was addressing the audience, basically warning them not to throw anything at her.
Have you noticed how people are like forgetting show etiquette at the moment and people are throwing on stage? Have you seen that? I dare you. Dare you throw something at me and I'll kill you. Stop throwing things at the artist, but you can shoot things at the audience.
I wonder if these people think that either it's going to be like a 5 minutes of fame situation or if they're going to get away with it because they're in such a crowd of people that they're kind of just like a faceless blob. Unfortunately, when every single person around you and in the entire crowd has a cell phone and they're recording everything around them, bro, you're gonna get caught. Now we can pretty much get an incident that happens at events like this from every single angle, from like a 360 scope. I guess it's just shocking that at this point in our civilization, it even has to be said that you shouldn't be throwing things on a stage at a physical person. Just because they're a celebrity or just because they're a performer doesn't mean that they're invincible or that the law wouldn't be put into effect when you harm somebody. There's just no valid reason for anyone to be throwing anything in the first place. And if this was any other scenario, if you were in a restaurant and took something off your plate and threw it at the person next to you, they would probably have the exact same reaction as Cardi, or there would be some form of consequence for harming or throwing something at another person. Something as small as an ice cube could do some damage if it hit you directly in the eye, depending on how fast it goes. Or you could throw a piece of paper on stage, the performer could slip on it and fall and crack their head open. Okay, I don't care how hyped you are. If you're to the point where you can't have any self-control, that you're throwing things and now assaulting people, then you don't get to go to concerts. You're ruining it for everybody else. I don't understand how you can just get that out of control. I just kind of wanted to get that rant out of the way. I would definitely love to know your opinion on what the is going on in these concerts. Let's go ahead and dive into some more videos to react to. Today's video is going to be another shuffle video, so we're going to have a bunch of random scenarios. Let's just clear our minds a little bit and see what's happening in the lives of these people.
You're not going to say my son has flaws.
You can leave.
No, I don't have to leave. That dress you're wearing, we paid for.
Let's calm down.
You're not going to ruin my
You
day.
are not going to say my son has flaws.
Wow.
Everybody has flaws and that's why I love them. You can leave, Judy.
Like you don't have flaws.
You can leave.
You can get out of my wedding now.
I'm not leaving. That
Yes, you
dress
are.
you're wearing, I paid for.
Let's do this.
I'm video. Try it, and I'll have you arrested.
Tony, get her out of here. This is not right.
This is not.
Let's respect the wedding.
I'm not leaving.
Let's just calm down. Let's say, hey, we don't need this. We don't need this.
I don't want to hear these flaws about
All
myself.
right.
You have the flaws right now because
Are
you
you
look like an
I have the
adult.
flaws?
You don't know how to act like an adult
Oh,
right
you
now.
kidding? I give that man $500 because he wants to live high and mighty.
Oh my god.
This is not.
All right, it's odd to have someone heckle from the audience when you're giving vows at your own wedding. I really, truly cannot imagine the amount of drama that happens just at weddings in general, and to be at one where the mother of the groom is personally, intentionally trying to sabotage the literal ceremony for no reason too, by the way, because this all seemed to stem from the bride's, what do you call them? Vows. I think a really common thing to say in a wedding or when you're expressing your love for somebody is that you see their flaws and that's what you love about them. It doesn't matter to you. It makes them them. It's kind of a sentimental thing sentimental sounded weird. It's more of a sentimental thing to say. It's not saying like, well, you don't make the bed every morning and you definitely stink when you get home from work. Oh, by the way, I can't stand your face if you don't shave. You know, it's not that. And if it was that, I could see someone being like, whoa, that's a little rude. But even then, I don't think I would feel the need to like say anything in the middle of the ceremony. Especially just because she threw out like, oh, well, I bought you the dress. It seems like they were definitely on bad terms going into this, and maybe it was like a fresh argument that happened that morning or that week, and I don't think that this was just like a, oh, she's bullying my son thing. I think that was just an excuse to open her mouth and just be nasty. And I mean, if you've ever watched Say Yes to the Dress, the drama that happens with parents and family in just picking a dress, I cannot even imagine what wedding planners must see, what venues must see, bartenders, DJs. If you have any of those professions, feel free to leave some crazy wedding stories because that might be a category we need to explore.
Get out of here. I'm in my driveway. I'm not pissing your dogs off. I'm being in my driveway. There are schools all around here. They've been called multiple times. You're going to cause somebody to get hurt because you don't take action.
Look, sir, I didn't even have a fence.
You didn't have a what?
Keep up. Shut up, Peppy. I'm going to call the cops and tell them how you do it.
You're going to call the cops?
Yeah, I will.
All right. Call the cops right now.
Okay.
I'm calling them too. I'm going to tell them how you kicking at her too.
Yeah. When she was chasing me on my sidewalk here, I'm kicking at your dog for sure. Hey, can you get your dog, please? Can you please put your dog up? She's running up and down the road and the sidewalk barking at me.
This sort of thing makes me very upset because this seems like it's the dogs that's the problem here when it's really the woman. The woman is not in any way responsible for these animals, and any bad pet behavior is a reflection of the owner's poor training, lack of supervision. This woman is allowing her animals to behave, I don't want to say recklessly because they weren't being reckless. I think that word is too strong. They were just not listening to her. The woman didn't seem to have any sort of stimulus control over them. When I got a new puppy, I was posting a video of me working on training and things that I've been doing with my dog to help her within the first month to really get a routine going and establish some really basic commands, whatever. And I had a few people comment, why are you making your dog work? It's just a puppy, like you're supposed to be playing and having fun. And I was really baffled by this response. That's like literally saying to let an infant child crawl out in the middle of the road because let it explore. Don't tell it no because God forbid. I think whether or not you choose to train your dog is 100% your prerogative, up to you. But for me personally, the reason I felt it was necessary to immediately train my dog upon her coming into my home, number one reason is for safety. Situations like this video where this woman is allowing her dog to run up to strangers, run around in the streets off a leash and not come when called is exactly what terrifies me in having a dog that's not trained properly. Catahoulas are very smart. Ellie has a lot lot of energy and she can very quickly get bored. When she's bored, she engages in negative attention-seeking behavior or just trying to get into things that she's not supposed to get into. When she gets older and when she's stronger and bigger than she is now, I want to make sure that we have that relationship that she's going to listen to me. You have no idea what another person's animal is going to do. And if I trust my dog times a million, I'm still not just going to let her run around outside and go up to strangers. Do you know how many people don't like dogs or have had traumatic experiences with dogs or just don't want dogs running up to them? And there's so many different types of training and different ways to train. So if there's a certain approach that you don't like, you can look into different approaches or different types of trainers and find what works best for you or your dog and what you feel the most comfortable with. Next one.
Sometimes it burns.
Where are they that she's outside the car? I can't tell what this is. It looks like a gas station, but I don't know why everyone is in the car. We have to pump our own gas here. I know in other states the attendants pump gas for you. Do you have to like wait in line or something if you're getting your gas? They have their window down, straight up making eye contact with her. She doesn't even look that provocative, which even if she was walking around in a bikini, like get over it. Who cares? She's not naked. I feel like they're trying to give her like a shameful look or they're trying to make her feel awkward. They could just truly be admiring her, but just based on the fact that they're not really like hyping her up and they're just like back and forth following her with dead eyes. Especially at one point, it looks like she turns and looks directly at them. They all kind of know what's going on here. It's just a really passive aggressive you from each side, which is definitely fun, awkward. Jealousy is one of those emotions that you really have to keep it in check and you really have to acknowledge when you're feeling jealous and why you're feeling jealous. It's hard. I've kind of tried to become more conscious of what exactly about this person makes me jealous. You just want what they have and you don't want them to have it or get any sort of benefit or reinforcement for it. When I feel that way, I really try to stop and acknowledge that. And then if it's a TikTok video or something that I'm watching and I'm jealous of something that is happening, I try to go out of my way to compliment that person about the thing I'm jealous of. And I don't know if that's healthy or if that matters or makes a difference or does anything for me in the long run, but instead of being jealous, find some sort of happiness for them and then just kind of internally either want to work for that myself or make that a goal of my own or just know that that's something unobtainable that I'll never be able to have or look like and find some sort of peace in that, which is way easier said than done. Let me assure you. Oh, okay, that was really quick. I feel like I've been in this situation plenty of times where you walk up to a counter or somewhere to get some type of service and someone is behind the counter just blatantly ignoring you, but in a way that you're like, I know they just don't want to help me. It's not like they're doing something and they're like, oh, I'll be right with you. I think I would just literally turn around and leave and just be like, I'm not gonna fight with you over this. I don't think these girls would care, to be honest. I feel like they don't really want to help you to begin with, so if you were like, you, I'm out, they'd either use that as a reason to be like, okay, good, I'm glad we didn't help that person, or, you know, they'd retaliate and the whole thing would escalate. Or, I don't know. My money really isn't that big of a reinforcer for them. I don't really think much is gonna be reinforcing for them besides me leaving to begin with, so see ya. I feel like the one thing that people really find unprofessional is workers being on their phone. I feel like if they were doing this in the back room and they saw someone had come up to the counter and they were like, okay, quickly, let's finish the video, where they can't see us, I don't really see anything wrong with that. I don't feel like you need to drop everything and run out to help the customer the second they walk through the door. I don't think that you should sit there and keep scrolling on TikTok for 20 minutes. I don't know. I guess it depends on the situation, how busy it is, whatever.
You guys asked, what's the rudest experience I've had as a blind guide dog user? So let's get into it. In case you're new here, my name's Haley, I'm visually impaired, and this is my guide dog, Marley. It's kind of a given that as a service dog user, there's going to be a lot of people who approach you and ask about your dog and ask to pet the dog, but those things never really bothered me because I know that they mostly come from a place of sincere curiosity about Marley. But sometimes those questions cross a line when strangers start to ask me what I feel are rude and inappropriate questions concerning my disability. One example of a rude experience like this is when people come up to me and say, "What's wrong with you?" Or when strangers demand a detailed list of my medical history to try to prove that I don't need Marley. I've also had strangers tell people that I can't do something because I'm blind.
Here's the thing. I feel like some people just really don't know how to act. If you've never been taught how to appropriately respond, or if you've never been around somebody who might have a different disability than what you're used to seeing, you were just never able to understand or get any sort of perspective, especially when people see dogs. I think that alone is probably already going to draw people in and having people approach you and talk to you because people see a dog and don't know how to control themselves. They just don't understand basic boundaries at all. This person has to put a giant sign on their dog saying, "Don't approach us, don't talk to my dog," and yet I'm sure people still do it all the time. The one where she was saying that people were kind of asking for a detailed medical history list, or seemingly like they were skeptical of her needing it. And it's like, number one, guide dogs aren't just something that you can just find at your local SPCA, right? You can't just pick a dog out and say, "Oh, you're gonna be my guide dog today." Guide dogs are trained very, very thoroughly from like the day they were born. Okay, I'm not 100% sure of the accuracy of that, but these things are not cheap at all. So not only do you need to have a diagnosis, a doctor on board, like that whole 9 yards, if you have a guide dog, it's because you fucking need it. It's not just because it's silly or because you want to bring your dog in the store with you or because you want attention. Like, that's not how that works. If you have any interesting stories or situations or would like to share anything regarding that topic, I would definitely be interested to read those. I think my heart rate is going to go through the roof. Just be empathetic or like understand, just have some sort of decency. And why is this even a conversation? Oh, hold on, Ryan's buying me tampons and wants to know which kind I need. Oh my god. What the hell? That's so mean. For what? This person is sleeping. And this is an employee that did this. Why? Is that funny? Is that like cool, or is that like tough guy? Originally, in my reaction, I was trying to tiptoe around accusing this person of being homeless, so I decided to just look into it, and I found some news articles that explained more about what happened here. So it turns out this individual was homeless, and it was about 8:30 at night at a Dunkin' Donuts, and he had come in just to charge his phone so he could call his family. The victim and his family actually answered some questions for an interview, and they explained that he's pretty much been bullied for a lot of his life. He has actually chosen to live on the streets. He says he prefers to be outside more, and he really only ever wants to talk to his family. And with a schizophrenia diagnosis, he really just keeps to himself, which is another reason why it's so ridiculous they did this to him. He clearly wasn't bothering anybody. I have literally no excuses or understanding for why they would do that to somebody, especially someone that clearly isn't like escalated and causing a scene, causing problems, because not that it's okay, but I can understand if someone's attacking you or throwing things at you or screaming at you and your response is to like throw a bucket of ice at them. I can understand where that retaliation and that escalation comes from. The poor guy like doesn't even respond aggressively. Like, it looks like he's just truly upset, especially because they got it all over his phone. That's so mean, dude. I don't even know what to say. I have no words.
Why didn't you come out with your own eyes and take a f***ing look?
Sir, if common sense will tell you to drive up as soon as you get a chance, but hey, you know, common sense ain't that common.
Common sense?
Common sense, that's what I said.
You guys' heads are up your f***ing asses.
And so is yours. You don't smell that shit on your lips. You have a good night, sir. Be blessed.
Your asses are gonna
you
get
go
fired.
Yourself and tell me
Your
how I
asses
feel.
are gonna get fired.
By who?
You can come happily take our taxi car, follow us to the
Or you can happily kiss my ass. I'm good with either one.
Really? This kind of service at Taco Bell? Oh,
At this time of night with that type of attitude, yes, the sir.
No, because I didn't understand what you said you had or didn't.
Because you can't easily sit.
Dude, really? He's like, this type of service from a Taco Bell? Where the f do you think you are, my guy? Bahama Breeze? You're at a drive-thru, my guy. Drive-thru at a fast food Taco Bell. I think you'll live if they tell you to f off. I think if a Taco Bell employee told me to f off, I'd be like, oh, this is the nicest experience I've ever had here. That's all you have to say to me? Thank you. Nobody deserves to be spoken down to, especially people that are handling your food, giving you a service, trying to help you. 99% of the people working in situations like that would rather you keep your money and stay home than come to the restaurant and cause a scene and cause a fight, get everybody worked up. Go away. If someone tells you that you don't get to have service because of the way you're talking to people, instead of just screaming back and demanding things and getting more escalated, maybe just stop and think about how you actually spoke to that person. A lot of people, especially in working in fast food, aren't going to be that sensitive. You really probably have to be an asshole for someone to be like, okay, fuck you. You know, even if you, for whatever reason, think that their job or position is beneath you or that you are better than them, whatever, let's just hold your horses. Remember, who wants their service? You do. You want the service that is so supposedly beneath you that you've gotten in your car and gone to this location and you have your wallet out ready to give them money. If it's so beneath you, why are you even there? If you can't even be respectful towards the people that are giving you what you want, I don't know why you would think that they owe you anything. Ooh, my stomach's gonna growl. Please don't do it. No. What is... What is he holding? This reminds me of like a real life haunted mansion situation, not like the movie that's coming out. He's made this subway his own personal scare zone. He's just like, am I gonna get you? I don't know, am I gonna get you guy? I don't know. If I was on this subway, I'd definitely have my head down, peeking through just to make sure I don't get stabbed or something. And then when he starts walking off, I'd probably be like, oh, thank God, he's leaving, he's getting off. And then he stumbles back on and I'd be like, especially since has a reputation for doing this. I think that that's kind of like the scariest sort of situation in being around somebody that you feel like maybe is unpredictable. You're not really sure what they're thinking or kind of what their motive is and why they're doing things. The violence with no justification or motive is so scary because it could just be anybody, anytime, for any reason. I'm sure in New York City, this is probably one of many types of situations you'd experience on a subway. I can hear my dog crying, so I guess that is the end of my mini vacation away from her. Wow, that was, I think, a good mix-up of videos. I feel like a lot of these videos prompted a good topic for discussion, so I would really love to know your opinions on any or all of these videos, and if you record something that you want me to react to, or if you see something that you want to send me, make sure you tag me in it on TikTok, Instagram, or send it to my email. If you want to find me on any other social medias, I have everything linked below. Friendly reminder, I am not on Facebook, so if you see any of my videos circulating on Facebook, I didn't post them. There is a new account I noticed that is pretending to be me, and they have an email and a phone number that they have publicly listed that I have no affiliation or association with. So I just want to put it out there that if you see that information on Facebook or anywhere that isn't linked in my link tree, it's not me. I don't have any social medias out there that is like secretive that I don't have links somewhere. Everything that I am active on is in my link tree. So fun! We love social media and just people in general. I really appreciate you guys for being here, and I will see you next time. Bye!